Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, is coming out, at least when I record this, very soon. I would say about a week from now, on the 28th of August, 2025, at least in the Americas. Now, you might be looking at this game and you might wonder, okay, what version should I actually get if I do want it? Some of you are saying, well, what difference is there? There's no difference, all these games are the same now. But with Metal Gear Solid Delta, that's actually not true. Not only are there platform-specific modes that are different, which we will talk about today, but there are pre-order bonuses and all kinds of other stuff that actually do make these versions different. So we're going to take a look at a few of the different versions, a few of the reasons why you might want to consider picking it up on a specific platform, and I want to say two things. At the end of the day, this is your money, it's up to you, and two, I will tell you why I prefer specific things, what I think is and is not good about them, so you can make your own decisions. We'll hop into it with a question of the day I do have, which is, if one other Metal Gear game could be remade in the future, what would you want it to be? For me, I would love if they could get back David Hayter, who seems to be on board, and do a remake of Metal Gear 1 and 2. Not Metal Gear Solid, just Metal Gear 1 and 2, the original MSX games. I would love that, to see maybe a different gameplay style, and to see something like, a fleshed out story, since it wasn't the same depth. But that's kind of my answer. Now, in terms of Metal Gear Solid Delta, there are multiple versions of the game, and really the main three are going to be for platforms, obviously PC, PS5, and Xbox. Now, here's the thing. Konami has been pretty transparent with what the different versions are going to have on them. So, for example, there is a physical version that is being referred to as a tactical edition. There is another physical version that is being referred to as a collector's edition. There is a standard edition, which is the digital version, and there is a digital deluxe edition, which is also a digital version but enhanced. So between those four versions and multiple platforms, that's why we kind of want to take a look at it today. Between the two platforms already, Xbox and PlayStation, there is an exclusive mode on each one. Now on the PlayStation and the PC, that mode is shared, which is actually Snake versus Monkey. And that mode is inspired heavily by Ape Escape, and it's actually using the apes from Ape Escape, where Snake will be tracking down these apes, basically capturing them. It's just Ape Escape with Naked Snake, or Big Boss, whatever you want to say. I think this is pretty fun. I think it's cool. And when I first saw this, I was worried, because back in the past, what happened was, with Metal Gear, they had exclusive modes in like the PlayStation version, and then those things never made it to other versions, and then when they didn't have the rights to them anymore, they didn't even make them into the Master Collection. So for example, in MGS2, there was an exclusive skateboarding mode. That's not even available anymore unless you play the original or emulate the PS2 version. That kind of sucks. So when they announced this, I was worried that this meant that PlayStation and PC were getting this exclusive mode and Xbox wasn't, but Konami clarified that was not the case. Xbox is actually getting a mode based off of Bomberman. Now this is because Ape Escape is more associated with Sony, and Bomberman is something that is a Konami property, so they can do whatever they want with it. And to not make it unfair, what they did was put Bomberman, this mode, Snake vs. Bomberman, into Metal Gear Solid Delta on the Xbox. So here's the thing. If you own both of these platforms, that's already a difference right there. Maybe you don't own both of them, either way you're getting the exclusive mode, but if you do own both of them, maybe you're more of a fan of Bomberman. You pick up the Xbox version. That right there is just something that already clicks with you more. Maybe you're more of a fan of Ape Escape. I think that's something that's worth clarifying right away. Now, when it comes down to it, out of the actual versions that are not platforms, they're just like the physical, the collectors, whatever, I personally think the most valuable one is actually the tactical edition, especially if you decided to pre-order it. Now, normally I am not a fan of pre-ordering, but there are certain exceptions I make. For example, this one where David Hayter is back and on board. The team around this has been very, very respectful of the original vision and very respectful in interviews. And so for me, this is the version I pre-ordered, the tactical edition, normal physical version. And you might wonder, well, why? First off, you get the full game. and it's actually on the disc. There's going to be the 1.0 build on the disc for the future. If you care about owning your own games, that's something I care about for media preservation. But you also get the sneaking DLC pack right away with just buying that version of the game. And what's interesting about this is, according to the actual Konami product lineup, this is actually a version where, for once, the standard physical version is better than the standard digital version, because the standard digital version doesn't come with the sneaking DLC pack. At least it's not listed on their spreadsheet. I appreciate the transparency. I'm kind of surprised by it. It's kind of weird because usually companies push digital really hard. But in this case, if you buy that physical standard edition and you're actually pre-ordering it, you're getting the full game and you're getting the sneaking DLC pack. Those are there no matter what, whether you pre-order it or not. But with a pre-order, you get the white tuxedo. Now, the white tuxedo, they do point out, can be obtained through in-game progress. And this is something going all the way back, the tuxedo being a very clever nod to the James Bond franchise. But if you want it right off the bat, there you go. That's something you get for pre-ordering. The thing with the collector's version of the game, if you decide to pre-order it, is, for me, for the price and what you actually get, it just was never worth it. Because you actually get this kind of big box, and you get a little diorama thing of Snake, and he's in a terrarium, and the tree is up there, and the backpack's up there from the very beginning of the game. It's cool, I like it, but for the price they were asking for, which was about $200 USD, that is almost 3 times the amount of the base game. It wasn't worth it to me, because you're really just getting a terrarium, like a little diorama, which is neat, a steelbook or a metal game case, Snake's ID card lanyard, a fox patch, another little patch here, and the collector's box. That's it. So for like an extra $130 to me, you could just go and buy 2 other video games. That's just not worth it to me. Really, really hardcore fans though, like far more hardcore than me with probably a better job or income than me, this might be worth it to you. Really, that version is just the same exact thing as the physical version, but with those bonus real life items. Now, when we actually get into the other 2 versions, this to me is where they start to become not as worth it, because with the digital version, not only is the sneaking DLC pack not listed, although you can buy it later, they do mention you can buy that later separately, but not only is that not a pack in with the game, but also there's none of the other bonuses that you would get from any other version. Like, for example, with the physical version, you have a disc. If you want to sell that, you can sell that. You want to put that on your shelf? You can put that on your shelf. You want to let a friend borrow it? You can. You know, there's all of those benefits, right? With the digital version, it is DRM, it is on your account, and you're not getting any bonuses unless you pre-order it, in which case you'll get the white tuxedo. Even then, though, you'll have to buy the sneaking DLC pack separately on the side. I personally don't think that's worth it. Where it could be worth it to you, if you're afraid of spoilers, you know, if you really want to be able to own this game digitally, maybe you're hard up on space in real life and you don't care about that kind of physical versus digital thing, the Digital Deluxe Edition, which is a little bit of extra money, I believe about $10 more, does come with the sneaking DLC pack, and you get 48 hours early access. Now, for me, off of the bat, I do not like early access. I've always hated early access. I think it is a bad precedent in gaming. I think it leads to streamers, content creators, and other people ruining the game for people before it's even out. And I think it leads to just spoilers all over the place. But if you are really wanting to play this game early, you can get it up to 2 days early by getting that version. That might be worth it to you just for that reason. And it's worth noting that is the only edition where you can do that. The collector's edition, you're not going to get that in the mail or store pickup early. The physical edition, you're not going to get that early unless you know, falls off the back of a truck, if you know the saying. The standard digital version, that's locked behind a time wall on the store. The only version that you are going to get in a legitimate fashion early is that Digital Deluxe Edition, in which case you can still get the sneaking DLC pack, you can still get the white tuxedo if you pre-ordered it, and you would actually be getting the game very early. So it's worth noting with this, if you're on PC, the benefits of the PS5 version, like the, you know, Snake versus Monkey mode, that Ape Escape mode, that is going to be shared with PS5. So you're going to have the same thing. Obviously with PC, you're going to have other options like uncapped frame rates in the future, graphical fidelity, all these different things. It's not even worth getting into PC versus console. But if you're on PC, just know that you have all the benefits of what PC already is, plus you would have the PlayStation 5 Snake versus Monkey mode. So really, to me, the biggest things to think about are the what mode do you prefer? Do you care about early access? Do you want to have this sneaking DLC pack? And do you want early access to the white tuxedo? You know, those things, along with the digital versus physical media ownership, which I always talk about as someone who's a media preservationist, I think that matters. But those are kind of the things you want to think about if you're looking at getting this game. Now you might wonder, okay, why are you talking about this in the first place, since I already went through all the versions? Because I truly do think this game looks very good. I think it looks very respectful to the source material. I truly appreciate that they didn't just completely shortchange one platform for this game and not give it an exclusive mode, that they didn't just go give PlayStation 1 and ignore Xbox or whatever. I like the way Konami is handling this game so far. I think they've been very transparent, and to me this looks good, and if this game is good and does good, it means we're going to get more good games like it in the future from Metal Gear, whether they are remakes, remasters, or new titles in general. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. This is really the only time I've ever made a video like this before a game has come out, taking a look at the versions. I'd like to do it again in the future if you're interested, but I will be covering Metal Gear Solid more as this comes out. I've already made several videos on this game, multiple versions of, you know, the Metal Gear games. Like 24 different videos are in a playlist on this channel. And then on my other channel, Degenerate Plays, I've actually played through Metal Gear, Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear Solid 2 is almost done now, and Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes now, all in different playlists over there. So, if you're interested, there's plenty of Metal Gear content to enjoy from me and around my channels, and I appreciate you checking this one out. Huge thank you to my members right here. Thank you guys for making videos like this possible. If you want to support our channel, you can use Fortnite code DJAY123, or you can check out our store, where if you're a fan of real-life physical items, and maybe you're someone who likes one-of-a-kind things that are not mass-produced and that are able to be just yours, we make coasters, keychains, trays, and more out of recycled paper from comics, manga, magazines, and other books that have been damaged. We then turn that paper through resin into a new type of art in a new medium, transformatively, and then we recycle the rest. So we create coasters, keychains, all this kind of stuff out of this paper, and we do hope that you'll check it out. Discount code DJAY123 for 10% off your first purchase. Have a fantastic day, and as always, everyone, stay shway.